Hello and welcome. After working with hundreds of clients, the one thing that both Laura and I know is that the number one way to get back your time in your day so that you can do more of what it is that you love is to delegate. And we get it. We weren't born yesterday. We totally know that delegating can be tough. So we are tackling the top 4 delegating myths and challenges and objections that we hear from our clients every day. And we're going to talk about busting these myths all week long. So first, who are we? If you haven't met us before, we thought we should introduce ourselves really quick. So I'm Lisa Crilley Mallis, and I'm a time strategist. I work with business owners who used to be able to get everything done, and then all of a sudden something happened, and now they feel like they're juggling tons of balls in the air, trying to figure out how to keep them all up there without one dropping. Their skills got them this far, and now they need to upload their skills for another type of mastery so that they can get more done, but not work more. In fact, work less so they can have fun with their family and doing more of what they love. And this is Laura.
Yes, and so once Lisa is done helping you figure that all out, then I come in, Laura LaCursey, owner of Elite Virtual Assistants. We are a virtual assistant staffing agency, and we help attorneys and busy business owners go from being busy to productive in their business. We help you get out of working in your business and back to working on it so that it can grow. And our specialty areas are legal assistants, executive assistants, and digital marketing assistants. So our number one myth, or I should say myth number one that Lisa and I are going to bust today is, I can't afford it. So what I always say to people who say that to me is you really can't afford not to. And it really just goes back to what we help people do. And that is when you are busy working in your business all the time, it cannot grow because you're not working on it, because we get stuck in the weeds and we get stuck in the trenches. And when you actually have time to work on your business, that's when things start to happen and when you can actually grow. Remember, you can only work or you can only grow as many hours as you personally have available to put into it.
Absolutely. When we think about the fact that there's 168 hours in the week, and part of that you're sleeping, like all of a sudden it starts to limit how much time you can spend on your business. And so when we start to look at the data, one of the things I like to share with my clients is think about how much you make when you're doing the work that drives your business that you get paid for. How much is that? And then take that number and compare it to what you would pay someone else to do that job. And we get it. Right now, we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and there's a lot of, I'm not sure where my business is, and I'm not sure what's happening, and, how can I take this money and pay someone else to do something when I'm perfectly capable of doing it myself? And yet, when you look at what you could pay someone else to do it and what you can make because you are taking that time and devoting it into the things that make money, the things that grow your business, it's not an even out. Like you're totally going to make more than what you will pay to delegate.
Right. And the important thing too is it's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen, and you have to believe in that. And so the other thing is that think about, you basically have to just go back and rework your budget, because there's always some place that you can cut back on, even if it's for, let's just say that you want to try it. So let's say that it's for 3 to 6 months so that you can see what a difference it's going to make in your business. There is always something that you can cut back on. Or maybe you can just take that extra little leap of faith, but you've got to be able to actually, commit to doing it and find that way to do it.
And I love what you said, 3 to 6 months, because it doesn't happen overnight. Like I
No.
think so many times my clients will say, well, I delegated to so-and-so yesterday and I'm not seeing an increase in income. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, in the world of magical time, that's not quite how that works. Another thing when we talk about uh, delegating and cutting expenses and how much you make and how much they make, maybe bartering is a good way to delegate. Now, I don't love trading hours for hours because I know that once you start to do that, you're not freeing up time. But if you barter for something that you need, so for example, I actually barter for yoga. I don't barter often, but yoga, having someone helping me privately reduce my stress and help me focus is well worth it. And I will barter hours for hours there because I'm doing yoga anyway. And so that's one way to delegate in a different relationship. So I'm delegating my peace of mind to someone else. And in return, they get some coaching.
Yeah, which is great. And I think a lot of times people don't think about that. They don't think about being able to just share services like that with somebody to get what they want. But what it really comes down to is instead of saying I can't, you have to figure out how can I, right? And when you make that tiny little mind shift or mindset shift and change, it makes a really big difference. It's because in your mind, you're not saying anymore that I can't. You're saying, okay, how can I? And you are going to find a way, and you are going to find an answer, because that is now where your mind is, right? Your mind is thinking that that you have to do this. So for those of you who have said, I can't afford it, that is myth number one that Lisa and I just busted for you.
Yes, we did, Laura. And we are going to bust 3 more this week. 1 o'clock Eastern, same place, same time. And we will continue to explore the challenges that our clients face when they're trying to delegate.
Yeah, and then we also are busy working on a masterclass that we're going to follow up with once we get through our delegating myth busting this week. And it's going to teach you how to delegate like a pro. And that's going to be coming up on June 9th at 1 o'clock Eastern. We're being very consistent with our times. And we are going to walk you through what you should be delegating and what you shouldn't, who you can delegate to, and how you can delegate effectively. So there'll be more information on that to come, but just wanted to make sure that you mark that on your calendars for next week. And we will be putting out the registration link soon.
And if you have any other questions, please post them below. So we're going to quickly answer a question that came in while we were chatting. And it's and so Laura, this is totally for you. How do you give assurances to your clients that handle confidential information that you would be privy to with a virtual assistant?
Yeah, so that is always, confidentiality is always a really big concern with people. And the thing that I always like to say is there's really not much of a difference if somebody's working remotely for you or if they're working right next to you in the office, because we've all seen, what can happen even if somebody's right next to you. So, there are a lot of precautions you can take. Like with our agency, we have 2 different confidentiality clauses within our contracts. We encourage our clients to sign NDA agreements with their virtual assistants so that you always have some form of protection. I always tell people to use a password manager. We, always recommend LastPass. So this way you're not, putting all of your, you're not putting all of your sensitive information into the hands of somebody that maybe is brand new to you, that, you're just, you haven't worked with before. So there are a lot of different ways that you can protect yourself. And a lot of it comes down to the comfort level too. You've got to be comfortable working with somebody in that capacity.
Absolutely. Thank you, Laura, for answering that burning question that we had from one of our viewers, Bill. And we will answer these questions and even more in the masterclass. So if we haven't told you, once or twice or 5 times, you want to sign up for the masterclass. We'll put the link in the comments below because it's kind of a long one and we want you to be able to click on that easily and sign up for the complimentary masterclass next week on how to delegate. That's how important we think this is. 4 lives and then a 45-minute masterclass next week. Until tomorrow, we'll see ya.
Yep. See you tomorrow at 1.